Welcome back to Old Times is Not Forgotten. Tea, anyone? This is a novel way to say tea for two. Today's video has a lot of knee slappers from the 1800s. What did your ancestors think was real knee slappers? We will find out. In this video, I will be reading all the jokes from the St. Paul Dispatch newspaper, dated for the month of April in the year 1892. Let me know in the comments below if you think any of these are still humorous. Low-down thieves. Worried editor. Good morning. I presume you are the detective sent to help us catch the miserable thieves who steal papers from front doors. The low-down rascals. I don't see how anything in human form can descend to such petty... Stranger. You mistake, sir. I am not a detective. I am the paragrapher of the Bungtown Bugle, and I dropped in to ask why in thunder you steal my jokes and print them as original. Just a hint. Old gent calling from the head of the stairs. Oh, Mary! Daughter. Yes, Papa. Old gent. Is Harry down there yet? Daughter. Yes, Papa. Old gent. Tell him to wake me up for the 5 o'clock train as he goes out, will ya? Good night. Here's a funny 1890 law. Has a cinch on her. Frank Parsons of Mansfield, Connecticut, having spent several evenings with Belle Wilson, the daughter of a widow, the mother informed him that he must cut enough wood to pay for what was burned evenings in the process of sparking. The next day, he took his place at the woodpile and continued his work till he had chopped enough wood for the entire winter. It is held that under Connecticut law, he can collect pay for his labor if Belle now dismisses him and receives the addresses of another fellow. Did you know in 1892, the same year as this paper, it was tradition that on a leap year a woman could ask a man to marry her, and he was obliged to do it unless he was otherwise engaged. Listen to this joke. She wouldn't propose. Do you think any girl ever proposes in leap year, as they say, Jenny? He asked. Not unless she's obliged to, answered the maiden. I hadn't thought of that, he said after a pause. But George, she said, laying her hand affectionately upon his arm and looking into his eyes, you, I am sure, will never force me to that humiliation. No, that is to say, of course not. The ice was broken, and 3 minutes later, George was Jenny's accepted. Ahead of the times, tramp, reading from a scrap of newspaper around his lunch. This paper here, partner, says the time's a-comin' when men won't be obliged to work. Partner, comin', is it? What's the matter with us right now? Ah, the wonders and beauties of the English language, illustrated, some synonyms. The construction of the English language must appear most formidable to a foreigner. One of them, looking at a picture of a number of vessels, said, "See what a flock of ships." He was told that a flock of ships was called a fleet, and that a fleet of sheep was called a flock. And it was added for his guidance in mastering the intricacies of our language that a flock of girls is called a bevy, that a bevy of wolves is called a pack, that a pack of thieves is called a gang, and a gang of angels is called a host, and a host of porpoises is called a shoal, and a shoal of buffaloes is called a herd, and a herd of children is called a troop, and a troop of partridges is called a covey, and a covey of beauties is called a galaxy, and a galaxy of ruffians is called a horde, and a horde of rubbish is called a heap, and a heap of oxen is called a drove, and a drove of blackguards is called a mob, and a mob of whales is called a school, and a school of worshippers is called a congregation, and a congregation of engineers is called a corps, and a corps of robbers is called a band, and a band of locusts is called a swarm, and a swarm of people is called a crowd. Sometimes the real news articles can be very humorous. Spoiled the Major's whiskers. Newburgh, New Jersey. While Private Clifford of the Cavalry, stationed at West Point, and Drum Major Anthony of the Military Academy Band were out on a lark recently, they engaged in an altercation, a fight. Clifford pulled out a handful of the drum major's luxuriant blonde whiskers. Anthony soon afterwards preferred charges against the cavalryman, who was arrested, tried by court-martial, found guilty of conduct unbecoming a soldier, and sentenced to 4 months' imprisonment at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. Letters to the editor can also find a lot of humor. Here's one to the St. Paul Dispatch. I don't at all object to policemen who takes a drink now and then. There are many considerations which make it improper to raise objections to his moderate indulgence in a practice which is well nigh universal. The policeman is human. He is thirsty. He is companionable, and he of all other men must be susceptible to the insidious approaches of that tired feeling, which is best dissolved in a bowl 4 fingers deep. It is not, then, with the little habit of the St. Paul policeman of dropping into a saloon now and then and taking gratuations of drinks, that I would not find fault. By no means let him drink and rehabilitate himself with jubilation, but I do wish to file an objection to an officer of the police who orders a cocktail. What if his uniform be bright and shining? his accoutrements in apple pie order, and the fit of his coat, and the trousers above criticism, and his mustache well curled at the ends. I still maintain that there is something paradoxical, out of character, and wrong in the combination of a policeman and a cocktail. Have we, forsooth, come upon such effeminate days that straight whiskey and beer are not good enough for the police officer? The next thing we shall see is the copies ordering a small bottle, a pousse café, or an absinthe cocktail. I beg to make my protest. Cocktails for policemen? Indeed, we are come upon degenerate days. In America, baseball at the time was the most popular sport. Here's a very descriptive paragraph about baseball. The hold that baseball has obtained upon the American people is a matter of surprise to even its most devoted admirers. Season after season passes away, and yet it continues to draw like a mustard plaster. It is the national game of the great American people. A boy's essay. A boy in Wichita, Kansas school has been suspended for reading the following essay on pants. Pants are made for men and not men for pants. Women are made for men and not pants. When a man pants for a woman or a woman pants for a man, they are a pair of pants. Such pants don't last. Pants are like molasses, thinner in hot weather and thicker in cold. The man in the moon changes his pants during an eclipse. Men are often mistaken in pants. Such mistakes make breaches of promise. There has been much discussion as to whether pants is singular or plural. Seems to me, when men wear pants, they are plural, and when they don't wear any, it is singular. Men get on a tear in their pants, and it's all right. But when the pants get on a tear, it's all wrong.